Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I hope y'all are doing good today. Now listen, the other day I posted a poll on my community wall asking you ladies what you want to hear next. And I put 5 options. And the one that won was the Swirling versus Divestment series. So the first part of that series is up. Highly recommend that you check it out. Some of my proudest work. I'll link that for you below. So I have started on that, and part 2 will be coming soon. So stand by for that. So that won first place. Second place was the Why White Men Marry Black Women video series. So that won second place. So my Swirling versus Divestment video and the Why White Men Marry Black Women video will be highly edited. So those will take a while to come up, but since those are the ones, the top 2 that y'all chose, those are the ones that we're going to be doing highly edited content on. So stand by for those. Part 1 of the Swirling versus Divestment video again is up, however, so check that out. Some of my finest work, if I do say so myself. But the other 3, which were the reaction to the McDonald's Hyena, you know, the one that only brought food to his child and not the other children of his baby mama. That one, the reaction to R. Kelly getting 30 years, and the reaction to the police pow-pows against Patrick Lyoya and Jayland Walker. Those got lower end. But, when I did the math, it was a handful of people that actually wanted to hear my reaction on that. So for this video, I decided I'll go ahead and do a quick react. Quick reacts are basically this is all I got to say about ... series. So I figured I'll just go ahead and do a quick react to all 3 in this video with little to no editing. It's just quick to do. I can just spill my guts of what my feelings are, if any, about these things. And it doesn't require much work. I generally don't put my intro and outro into these, and sometimes I do. But anyways, I don't have to do that with this. So I'm going to go ahead and give y'all a quick raw and uncut, not so much edited, no intro, no outro reaction to these 3 things. And then, y'all can let me know y'all's thoughts about these things. So I'll go ahead and put timestamps for this video. So if you want to skip ahead, or if I'm babbling too much, you can fast forward to the place you're more interested at. I'll go ahead and leave that for y'all in the description. So without further ado, let me go ahead and give y'all my thoughts on these 3 things. The first one is the hyena that brought the McDonald's to one of, I believe, 4 of his baby mama's children. And it was his child that he brought the meal for. Now, there was a lot of mixed emotions and reactions to this quick recap. I believe the Black woman was she ran out of food stamps. She was waiting for her food stamps to kick in. And I guess she reached out to the fathers of her children, and only one of them showed up. The one that showed up brought McDonald's just for his child and not for her other children, who again are not his biological children. And she decided to record the situation to expose the man, and people online were debating whether or not it was his responsibility. So the black and white answer is no. It's not his responsibility. That's the simple answer. It's not his children. I personally wouldn't take responsibility for any children that I don't adopt or that I didn't give birth to. So that's the black and white answer. The more nuanced answer is that Black women need to stop looking for what they would do for their community onto hyenas. Like, stop expecting that. It is completely normal to just get into your nurturing instincts when you know that there are starving children, whether or not they belong to you. It's your immediate instinct to feed them. It's also that way in other communities. Now, this is something that I've experienced both amongst Black women and amongst other communities. No child gets left behind, essentially, with Black women, and no child gets left behind with other communities. Like, I have a best friend who is of totally different race and culture, and anytime I've gone to celebrate the holidays with her and her family, and I've brought my child along, we were always welcome. My child was always treated as an equal amongst the children of that race and culture. So I've seen this, I've experienced this, and when you actually look into the cultures of other communities, this is a normal thought process for it to be that if you know that there are starving children and you have the means to assist with trying to feed them, it's going to be your automatic instinct to do that. So in that regard, I understood why she was pissed off at the hyena. But at the same time, this is a lesson of why Black women need to divest. And, I will also acknowledge that this is likely a mammy/pick-me who has not yet found divestment, and a hyena. So it has nothing to do with the ladies in this space. However, there's still a lesson that we can take from this. It's that Black women need to divest. You need to divest and find people that think like you. Go into the communities, go date in the communities, go find fathers in the communities where that, it is in their instinct that if there are starving children and I have the means, I'm going to do what I got to do to help those kids. Where do you think the money comes from when anything dealing with the child, whether it's for health, whether it's for children's hunger, whether it's anything save the children, right? Where do you think those donations come from? They're definitely not coming from hyenas. They're coming from other communities. And that brings me to my concluded point, is that Black women need to stop expecting hyenas to magically become these group of individuals who think like Black women or like other communities. They have time and time again fallen short. They owe the United States $51 billion. They're literally the leeches of every economy globally. So they've already shown their face. Stop expecting them to be like other communities and like Black women. You're just not, they're always going to do the bare minimum. Like this hyena coming to bring McDonald's for just his child in Blackistan would get a round of applause. He is a good dad. And what really drove it home for me is, as far as the nuance side of things, is I wouldn't doubt that this hyena was over here trying to play dad with her children. I wouldn't doubt that at all. It's just that she's over here trying to introduce the internal dynamics of that relationship to the outside world. And on the outside world, we are going to criticize this thing on a logical level. But, because we all know how things go down in Blackistan, it sort of makes sense why she was over there trying to expose him. But she ended up making a fool of herself, and she's in this situation in general. So that's all I got to say about that. It's a lesson of reiteration for those of us who are divested of, oh shit, I don't miss that. I don't miss seeing that, hearing my friends cry about that kind of stuff. Don't miss it. Hashtag divest. So you don't end up like her. But yeah, next subject. So the next is R. Kelly getting 30 years. Well, it's about damn time is what I have to say about it. Look, the man has been guilty. Like there's a lot. First of all, there's a lot of people that need to be arrested. The parents, the yes men, his brother, everybody, send them all to jail. All the enablers, send them all to prison for the rest of their lives and throw away the doggone key. But, this is a very telling circumstance of Blackistan. Blackistan allowed this hyena who was caught on tape doing very inappropriate things to somebody who it just got a little bit personal for a second there in my mind, because I'm thinking about my relatives. I'm thinking about how young these babies were when he was over there exploiting them and abusing them. And Blackistan still let this hyena get away with it for over 2 decades. Over 2 decades. We saw the man with Lyoya. We heard all the things through the grapevine. We saw, well, some people actually saw that tape of the situation that went down in the 2010s. So the evidence was stacked against him already, and yet it took 2 decades for the hyena to finally get 30 years. And even now, Blackistan is trying to make strides to save this man. The hyena that got Bill Cosby off is over there working on trying to get the hyena some sort of technicality so that he can get out of prison. Not too long ago, there was a GoFundMe that actually paid R. Kelly's child support because Zaddy tried to keep him in prison by any reason necessary. The one thing that they could get on him at the time to keep his ass in prison was his child support. And what did Blackistan do? Well, they got a GoFundMe, and the hyena was able to get his child support bill paid in a day. So not that long ago, Blackistan was actively trying to save this hyena, even though the evidence was stacked against him that he was guilty. And even after he got off the first time in the 2010s, the hyena was still getting reckless. Still being reckless, still being a hothead, because he just knew that Blackistan was not going to let him go down. Just like Blackistan worked extra hard to make sure O.J. Simpson didn't go down, and was celebrating hardcore after he got off. So, it's about damn time that they put this hyena away. Hopefully this justice lasts. Way to go, Zaddy's system. I know that you wanted to do this a long time ago, and you probably wanted to put him away for longer. But I understand that the obstacle being Blackistan was against you. But I'm glad that justice was served at the end of the day, and I hope it lasts. And I hope that Blackistan crumbles like Rome. Anyways, next subject. All right, last on the docket are the reaction to Patrick Lyoya and Jayland Walker's, them being pow-powed by Zaddies in Blue, Back the Blue. Let me give you a quick background information. Patrick Lyoya, he was the one that got pow-powed in Grand Rapids. In that one, he was stopped by police, decided to run. He gave the police officer a good run for his money. And then, I'm not 100% sure. I want to say that he tried to go for the officer's weapons. I'm not 100% sure, but ultimately the officer lost steam, and essentially he put it in the back of the neck, let it loose, and that was that. So one of the most intense police body cam footage I've seen, also with the one with Jayland Walker, the one that happened recently in Akron, Ohio. Also very intense. Homeboy was another police chase. It was a normal traffic stop, but it turned into a police chase. I want to say there was a couple of bright lights coming from the driver's window. I'm not sure if they believe it was a pow-pow, but I want to say it was a pow-pow coming out of the driver's window. They ended up chasing him all the way off the exit of the highway. He ended up escaping from the car and running on foot. And then they tried to discharge their tasers, and it failed. And then he turned around again, and I believe because of the flashing lights that they were privy to when they were chasing him on the highway, when he turned around, they saw that as a threat. And if you don't know anything about police training, they are taught to stop threats at all costs. So there was about 6 or 7 or so officers chasing this one dude, and then when he turned around, they considered it a threat, and then they just it was like the 4th of July 60 times. What do I feel? How do I feel? What is my reaction about this? Well, what people fail to realize, the ones that protest when these things happen, is that even though we've evolved, hyenas have not. Those barbaric tendencies are potent in hyenas, and they have no regard, they have no foresight. As many times that Blackistan and mammies and social justice warrior white people have marched for these people, as many times as the footage has been released, as many times as Zaddy has gotten off for walking them off the earth, they still haven't learned. So the bottom line is sometimes Zaddy has to use that masculinity to get things done, and it's not pretty. It's not pretty. So at the end of the day, I'm team back the blue, and that's how I feel about the matter. So I will not be marching. I never do march. So that's how I feel. But yeah, that's all I got to say about these 3 subject matters. What are y'all's thoughts on this? Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening. See y'all in the next one. Love you. Bye.